Welcome to the Grappling Rewind podcast.
Welcome to this week's episode of the Grappling Rewind podcast. On this episode, we are going to recap Fight to Win Pro 77 in Sacramento, California. We are also going to recap the Boa Super 8 4th edition in Australia, talk about Vagner Rocha versus Dante in Grappling Industries, and talk about the big show EBI 16, the Female Bantamweights. Then a little bit later in the show, we're going to do a preview for IBJJF American Nationals, the Fight to Win Pro 78 in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and ACBJJ 14 in Moscow, Russia. As always, I'm your host, Maine, here with my co-host,
Josh.
But first, let's kick it off with a little bit of news. Apparently, Nutella is now an insult, Josh.
I was really upset that Nutella wasn't sponsoring people.
Yeah, so if you saw the Worlds, you saw Buchecha and a couple other guys had a Nutella patch, like at the bottom of the jacket on the back, and it has looks like a black belt or some black bar through it. And I was like, oh, that's cool. They're sponsoring jiu-jitsu athletes now. And Flow Grappling put an article out that basically that's an insult. Like you're a Nutella black, like a bad, you're a fake black belt. And I've never heard that before, ever. But apparently it's a thing because
it started with Renzo Gracie saying like Nutella is fake chocolate.
It's not chocolate though, Josh.
Exactly, it's hazelnut with
and sugar
with a little bit of chocolate in it, but it's hazelnut spread.
And sugar.
It literally says hazelnut spread on there.
If you read the ingredients, it says sugar though.
Fuck yeah, it does. But it's delicious.
It is delicious.
Did you like that we said that like in tandem?
I like it used in tandem, not in sync. I appreciate that. So, yeah, there's not been a whole lot of other news this week. This week was packed with, cool events. Some titles changed hands.
Kayla Harrison won her MMA debut against the Big Bird, Brittany Elkin. We're bummed for Brittany. We're fans of hers. But Kayla is a champ, so
yep, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of discussion on the internet if she's going to stay at 155 or move to 145. The big thought is that she would end up at 145 at the end, and everyone's already speculating about the big fight. It's like you have a woman that just made her pro debut. Calm down a little bit. Like let's give her some other fights and see where she lines up later. But that was a fun little conversation to hear on the internet.
Also, make sure you check out the BJJ Daily Digests that BJJ Scout does.
It's BJJ Digest, I think is what it's called. And they have the number, like they're up to like number 24 right now. Last one was on like Craig Jones talking about Boa and his thoughts on a bunch of other items. They're really cool videos.
Yeah, it's got little tidbits, little happenings. It's essentially like a better video version of this podcast.
Yeah, we talked about it when he first launched it a while ago. There was like, yeah, it's basically like what we do, except better.
Yeah, and it's daily.
We don't, we put out once a week. So if you want to get your daily dose of jiu-jitsu, take a look at that. Really cool. Again, we always love BJJ Scout and anyone else creating jiu-jitsu content, so check it out. Other than that, it's been a fairly light week for news. Not a whole lot other than all of the super fights. Again, when you have big events like the ones we had this week between Fight to Win, Boa, EBI, jiu-jitsu kind of slows down for the news because everyone has their eyes facing those big events. So,
yep.
Cool. So let's get into it. So on to our recap of Fight to Win Pro 77 in Sacramento, California. This event paid out a total of $31,523 in salaries and commissions and was headlined by Travis Magler versus Marcos Torregrossa.
I am super proud that you didn't bonk that one up.
I almost did. You heard me pause and go, the last name.
So we had 22 out of 34 submissions. That's almost 2/3. It was 65%, 64.7, but we round up here at the Grappling Rewind. Also, technically there were 35 matches.
There was a little.
There was 22 submissions and 1 TKO.
We had a freebie on this card. Apparently, Mr. Nate Diaz.
Nate Diaz had to Stockton slap the shit out of somebody in the crowd, and he won via punches. So I would say that's a TKO. Seth Daniels' first TKO in Fight to Win history.
I was hoping to get that, by the way. I talked about it before the Baltimore one. I was like, man, I want to knock someone out from the back mount.
Yeah, it's not an official match, so we can't say it's technically the first
it's
one.
Listed on the results, technically. I wonder if he paid Nate for the submission.
See, I wonder if the TKO gets more money. It's more appealing to the fans.
I think it's technically a submission still. So you still get your black belt pay and you get your
Did
black
he
belt
take
to
away
sub.
Wagner's pay? Did he say, send me my money back when he front kicked AJ Agazarm and they overturned it and gave him a loss?
Dude, you probably gave him double the money for that.
Yo, I would have too.
Yeah, it's like, yo,
Would have been
Wagner.
like, I'll triple your pay, dog.
That was good. That highlight went around for like days after that, which is like, oh shit, he kicked him off the stage.
It was amusing.
This event was a lot of fun. Let's start off with the
Seth
the results.
actually brought that up with the Dante Leon match.
What he brought up? What?
Seth was like, "Did he let you kick him across the mat?" I was like, "Oh shit!" He's just dropping he's sprinkling a little salt down there. Obviously, all in good fun because Vagner is on a shitload of fight to win cards
all the time.
So
we're gonna talk about him this week. We're talking Mr. Competition. We're talking about him at the Grappling Industries later this episode. So on to the results. We're gonna start off with the purple belt results.
Vijay Sama defeats Domingo Rosas by armbar. Ricon Savath, defeats Rock Rays by knee bar. Michael O'Leary defeats Larry White by triangle. Jamie Villar defeats Kevin Schnepp by decision.
And that was fight of the night for the purple belts.
Brandon Alexander defeats Austin Flowers by split decision. Bryce Sexton defeats Luis Alatorre by armbar.
And that was submission of the night for the purple belts.
Joy Ann Pendle defeats Kim Bowser by knee bar.
That's a dope last name.
Oh, I love when they copy the Facebook names. So this is the name. We'll probably go back in a little bit and be like, oh, here's this person. Kunkalunk defeats Rob Parks by rear naked face crank. James Lamp defeats Christopher Sutherland by decision. Keith Lacasse defeats Nathan Duenas
Sure.
by straight ankle lock. David Fernandez defeats Fernando Cacao by armbar. Antonio Cumerlato defeats Billy English by armbar. Daniel Worthner, oh man,
that's close. I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'll go with that one.
Yeah.
Defeats Joseph McKinnon by toe hold, and that was all the purple belt results. So let's go into the brown belt.
Let's go into the teen results next.
Oh, teens. Hey, I'm skipping ahead too much. Dylan Marlowe defeats Spencer Herr by decision. Aaron Curtin defeats Sammy Barakat. Man,
I think Barakat's correct, and that was submission of the night for the teens.
That's a rear naked choke, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel Sedilios defeats Diana Gutierrez by decision.
And that was fight of the night for the teens.
Now we're going into the brown belt results. Jeez.
Pulling a main there, Josh, jumping the gun on some shit.
I know. Aleph Brito defeated Pedro Silva by decision. Mike Singh Hathi defeats Jacob Pangelian. That's a different one. That's the brother.
Yeah, but assume the last name is pronounced the same.
I don't think it's actually Pangelian, by the way. They were saying it differently, by the way.
Oh, God.
By the way, commentary was on fucking
point.
Oh,
yeah.
Tim Freeman from Inside BJJ was one of the commentators on fucking point.
It was good. The
Pangelinan. I think that's what it is.
We changed it now
from
Pangelian to Pangelinan.
Well, look, Pangelinan.
Yeah, Josh, I'm with you, man. I mean, I'm not a good pronunciator of the names. So
Enunciator.
If we're gonna go with that, that's what we're going with.
Anyway, Mikey won by decision. Antoine Green Gibson defeated Gerald Rivera by heel hook.
That was submission of the night for the brown belts.
Courtney Dubois defeated Rebecca Basmore by rear naked choke. Let's see. Joe DiMaggio, defeated Joseph De La Vega by head and arm choke. Oh my goodness, I can't read today. Brett Bryan defeats Choi Moreno by armbar. There are a lot of Morenos on this card.
It wasn't Sacramento, Josh.
No, I mean like family-wise. And it's Chewy, not Choi. Chewy. That's what they were calling him, Chewy. Chewy Moreno by armbar. And Vanessa Griffin defeated Liz Mitrovic by decision, which was a title match.
And that was fight of the night for the brown belts.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah. Vanessa Griffin is a brown belt out of Lloyd Irving. Josh is going to cough away from the mic. Cool.
Thank you. Yeah.
It was a good match.
Yo.
Which is why it's fight of the night
I
for the
thought
brown
Vanessa
belts.
was losing at first, and then she turned it around and got that sweep near the end and mounted.
I agree. I think she was, and then she turned on the gas and got it done. So she's the new brown belt champion at whatever weight class that was contested at, Josh.
I forgot what the weight was.
That's why I wasn't going to say it. I completely forgot what weight class.
Going on to black belt results. David Anderson defeated Louis Moreno by Darce. See, there's one.
Another Moreno.
You're welcome. Garrett Aldrich defeated Dom Hoskins by decision. Nicholas Green defeated Miguel Augusto by armbar.
And that was submission of the night for the black belts. Nicholas Green is Korean Bamba.
Yes, and it was like in the it was near the end. I want to say that in the dice, I haven't went. Oh, there's point in case. This should have been in the fucking news.
Yes, it should have been.
This is how important this was. The match is streamed, and within 10 minutes of that match streaming, it was online.
So you could watch the replays almost instantaneously. And
well,
Josh,
not a full replay, but like singular videos.
Yes. In other news, the BOA event, the full replay is up. So the matches aren't up. The entire event is up. I am so happy about this, Josh. I shed like an emoji tear. I was like, oh my God, it's up. I can watch the whole event.
I'm going to punch you for even saying that.
That's fine. I turned on the event, Josh, started to clean my house, was watching the event while I was watching the replay. I was like, this is amazing. This is everything I could ever dream of.
Don't lie and say you were cleaning your house. Don't you
I was
fucking
moving.
lie.
I was moving things around in my house. Let's go with that.
I don't even believe you were doing that. I walked in the door and Rachel was putting together the IKEA furniture.
Yeah.
While you're hiding down here in the basement.
Doing the podcast prep. Yes, Josh. So, shout out to Flow Grappling.
Fuck yeah, you finally listened to us.
It's amazing. Super happy that the matches
Thanks,
are
Grappling Rewind, for getting that shit and just being annoying as fuck for how many weeks?
I think this is our 8th month of doing this show.
Holy shit. That is a long time. Anyway, yeah. So that's up. I hope they continue to do this.
It was dope. I could go back and rewatch some cool shit that I saw.
It also helps us, especially when you've got these California cards that are on late as fuck.
This card ended at 1:30 in the morning.
I stayed awake.
I
almost stayed awake to start watching Boa Super 8 at 4:30 in the morning. And at about 3:45, I was like, I'm finally tired, and I passed out.
I missed the entire thing, had to catch the replay, so very happy that that's up.
Yeah.
So
Nicholas Green, he caught it in the end. He did his break dancing. He did his little dancing shtick afterwards. Always amusing to watch him. A great competitor, strong competitor, great referee. He wore those sick glasses that one time.
Yeah.
We didn't know who it was at first, and Maine's just texted me, this fucking guy with the glasses is awesome. And then he competed. Sean Cox defeated James Cotter by split decision. Gustavo Enriquez defeated Joseph Thomas by cross choke. Manny Moreno, there's the third one, defeated Sean Goslin by bow and arrow choke. Andrew Fonseca defeated Cola Vida by heel hook. That was also interesting because Cola was on, like they were doing a lot of wrestling and it was going like up and down or not happening at all. And then Cola started playing the leg game and initiated all the leg stuff, got to the side saddle, the honey hole, the 50-50.
He got deep into the legs and looked like the aggressor and looked like he was, oh shit, he's going to move to the leg position to get the tap.
Fonseca turned it around and started attacking the feet as well. And eventually, as Cola was going, I think he was going for something. He was defending, and Fonseca like scooped it and pulled it out and got that heel hook. It was sweet. It was sweet. Derek DeMano defeated Marcus Bones, not Bones.
We said last week Bones.
Yeah, and even in commentary was like, I don't think that's Bones. I think it's Bones. And then you hear Seth Daniels walking in, Marcus Bones, and I was like, yeah, it's Bones. Won by decision, and
that was fight of the night for the black belts.
I'm not gonna say like the top three matches.
The last 3 matches of the card.
Yes, the top 3 black belt matches. The last 3 matches on the card, all could have taken main event status. They were all
definitely.
like
yes,
high level dudes that could have pulled off a show.
Yeah, these are all the 6 guys on this card. I think are guys that we've either seen headline a card or co-main a card, or we've seen them on their own super fights in other organizations. These are big name dudes. So the
absolutely,
last 6 dudes could have held that top spot themselves. So it's cool to see the last couple matches as stacked as they were. That being said,
they were kind of a letdown. It kind of bummed me out.
Yeah, they all went to decision. They all went to split decision.
So that means in the referee's eyes that it was close. So let's start with Enrico Coco defeating Dustin Akbari by split decision. That one was a hard to pick.
Yeah,
Like
again,
I could have seen
all of these were hard to pick.
I could have seen Akbari actually winning because of like that takedown near the end and aggressively going forward.
And that's
while
why I thought
Coco was, he's using his guard work very well.
And that's kind of why I could see a good argument for Akbari, because he was the aggressor for big stretches of the match. Then Coco's guard work. So this is why I'm really happy that I'm not a ref here and I don't have to go up there and put the flag up and make the decision, because this would have been a really hard one to decide who the winner was. And Rico Coco gets the split decision, gets the victory, but damn, not
a lot of people were happy.
It was a close match. It was close. I mean, it's not a robbery. It was a close
match.
But
Akbari's from that area, so
yeah, your hometown guy didn't win.
Most of the crowd was like, fuck this. So that leads us into Hamelo Melo versus Cassio Vernick, defeating Cassio Vernick.
Again, another split decision.
Yes, a split decision. Hamelo Melo. I don't know what to say about this match. I didn't have like.
It wasn't strong feelings one way or the other about it.
No, it wasn't like. I liked it was an active enough match. There just was no particular moment in it that a guy edged out the other guy. You finished the match and went, that was a match that happened. I can't pick a winner from this. Yeah, but he walks away with the Masters title in that weight class, because that was a title fight. And that brings us to Travis Maglet defeating Marcos Torregrossa by split decision.
This was a title match as well.
Also a title match in the Masters division.
Yep, Torregrossa's had the title. I think he's defended that.
I believe so.
A couple times, not just
at least once.
At least once, I know. I think he's done it. He's been the champion for. We either saw him get the title not recently, a little bit ago, and defend it, or he's defended it a couple times. But we've seen him a bunch on Fight to Win, and he's looked good
every single time.
He's not had a bad performance in the entirety of his title run.
Right. Travis, I felt, was more aggressive and had the stronger leaning for the decision. But again, it could have been one of those things where it was the other way around.
Again, it's a close split decision. Like,
even Seth posted about it, and he said that it sucked that it was a split decision, and half the people that wanted one guy to win were pissed because it didn't happen. And he also mentioned maybe there are rematches in the future, which I could totally see, and I totally would be okay with.
Yeah, all three matches on the top of the card here, I'd be happy to see. Run it back, do it again.
I would want Akbari and Coco to be slightly more aggressive going for broke.
Yeah, play to the Fight to Win rule set a little more. Be a little more active so that, again, you're not coming down to controversial split decisions at the end. Because it's always rough. Like, no one wins there. The guy that wins, it's like, it's a close eke by. The guy that loses it, it's like, it's a close loss. It's it's just a rough way to go. And Fight to Win really stresses on activity and action and not letting it go to the judges. And so, again, good matches, outstanding card. And then you had Nick Diaz, towards the end, throwing those punches, throwing those hands, getting that TKO.
It was earlier. They just built it at the top.
It was during the purple belts.
But still, and breaking news, it is 7:59 p.m. This was sent at 7:55 p.m.
Sunday is July 24th?
June. It's not July.
You're correct,
June.
Josh. I read the J, and I was like, that month.
Yeah, it's that month, because there's so many with J.
There's like
3 of them.
4.
January, June, July.
August, September, October.
Jovember?
Yeah, no. That's not a month.
December?
That's November. Continue, Josh, with your
Anyway,
story.
breaking news. I knew about it previously. I was waiting for it to be confirmed. Josh Weinstock versus Chad Malone. 190-pound brown belt gi match. Fight to Win. Pro 82 at UMBC, Baltimore.
That's exciting.
July 28th.
That's exciting, Josh. So you're going 90, not emaciated 75 weight?
Yes.
What are you walking at now?
What am I walking at now?
Tell the fans, Josh, what you're walking at now.
204.
Okay, so you're like, that's good for you. I think 190 be good. Because you don't just look like you're, falling out of your skin with fat. You look like decent.
I can enjoy a piece of cake every now and then. I need to switch that up. I don't want to be 190 pounds. I feel very strong right now, but I don't even. I want to go down lower and then bulk back up. I want to do what Maine wishes he could do without steroids, but I can actually do that. So, yeah, 190. I was going to announce it in news, but it wasn't confirmed yet, but now it is officially confirmed.
We're just going to leave it here so I don't have to edit it.
No, don't edit it. Leave it right
I'm going to leave it here so I don't have to edit it.
Oh, yeah.
For the fans, Josh. For the fans. So that match is coming up. I'm excited to continue to give Josh shit for the next, what is it, month before your match?
Yeah.
That's
I
exciting.
can't walk in here eating like something. He's going to be like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing? It's like, are you going to miss weight, you fat piece of shit?
So that's Fight to Win Pro 77. Great card. Replays are up. Go back and watch a bunch of these. There's some really fun matches. Shitload of submissions. Always great to see. This has been definitely one of the better Fight to Win cards as of recently.
Sacramento, even Seth said it. It's like it is a close second to Chicago as crowd reaction. They were popping. It was a great match. I love when they go over there. California in general, most of the time, has fire cards. You know, I would love for Baltimore. Baltimore has fire cards too. I just wish like the crowd got into it more, and we could get a little bit more involved and be up there with all those exciting crowds as well.
So that does it for Fight to Win Pro 77. On to our next event. So Grappling Industries hosted a super fight between Vagner, Rocha, and Dante Leon. They do this from time to time. The most notable one was Keenan Cornelius versus versus Gordon Ryan. They've also done Craig Jones versus Kit Dale, and they've done a bunch of these, and they're great every time. This one was not a no time limit one. This was a 10-minute, I think, no points, 10 minutes points, or something like that.
It was like 20 some odd minutes long. I didn't even care about the points. I knew there was going to be a finish at a certain point.
Yeah, so good match back and forth. At the end, Vagner does something that Vagner does. Dude gets the back, locks in a fast as shit body triangle, and then punches across the face and grabs the choke on Dante Leon.
Yo, that match was still really good.
Yeah, it's like 22 minutes long, and it's active. There's like Vagner playing it up, and dude, it's good. It was everything I had hoped the match would be. You know, didn't drag on too long, but it wasn't boring. It was a good-ass match. 22 minutes long is the whole video. You can find it on Grappling Industries Facebook page. I think we shared it on the Twitter for our social media and our Facebook page as well, so you can find it there. Go back, watch it. It's a lot of fun. I am so impressed by how quickly Vagner Rocha grabs the body triangle. Dude, the amount of leg dexterity he has when he crunches the body and like locks it over.
It's all that EBI training.
It must be, but I have not seen. He is one of the fastest guys that locks that up I've seen. Like, he is on your back, and then he immediately cuts the angle on the hip to get the leg parallel. To get the leg perpendicular to the legs, parallel across the hip line, locks it up behind the knee on the same side, then punches the choke across and gets tapped. The finishing sequence is like 6 seconds long. It's crazy. And Dante Leon is no slouch. So to watch Vagner do that to Dante Leon was just crazy. I am excited to see him again at EBI with that level of body triangle and transition game.
Absolutely. It's once again, throw him on more stuff. I love covering him. I love how aggressive he is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's not trying to win a decision. He's trying to kill you in the first round.
Fuck yeah.
I love it. So that's Vagner Rocha versus Dante Leon. Go back and watch it. 22 minutes, worth your time, a lot of fun. How you doing? If you like the show, please consider sharing it with your friends at the gym and sharing it on Facebook or some other social media platform. That's the best way that we grow the show, and we really appreciate it. Thank you. So on to our recap of Boa 8. This was the Boa 8 Invitational, the 4th edition. Not sure why it's the 4th edition.
Because it's happened before?
Well, it's the 4th one? It just seems weird to call it the 4th edition.
Well, there was a 1st edition and a 2nd edition
but
and
it's
a 3rd edition, so this
an
one will be the
edition
4th edition.
Is kind of a weird way to call that. It's the 4th one.
Now you're just nitpicking.
It's not nitpicking. It's just like a 4th edition is like a baseball card thing. It's just weird to me.
Whatever.
So it was a great tournament. It's up on Flow Grappling. The entire event is up. You can go back and watch it. It had an 8-man, 88-kilogram Superfight bracket. Not Superfight bracket. 8-man, 88-kilogram bracket, and it had 4 super fights on it as well. They kind of broke up the card. They were placed in the beginning of the card. You know, you opened up the card, and then you moved on to the bracket from there.
I like how you're like, I'm struggling to get through this.
Well, I was like looking at you like, you know, going to say anything, Josh? Not going to say anything. No. You just flounder in this. All right. So the super fights were as follows.
Pasha Stoliar defeated Tiago Stefanuti 2-2 on points, ref's decision. Taliesin Suarez defeated Mikhail Yaya by bow and arrow choke, and goddamn was it a sweet bow and arrow choke. The Taliesin Suarez and his fucking barambolos and his back takes, it's beautiful.
That gi wizard shit?
Yes. Livia Guluchowska, I say her name all the time, and apparently I can't say it right now, defeated Tegan Krupp by knee bar heel hook. And Dean Liebenberg defeated Uros Kulik 0-0, 0-2 on penalties.
That's a close match. That's a way to go. Lose on 2 penalties. So on to the 8-man super fight bracket. This was funny. I've not seen Stuart Cooper compete.
I haven't either.
And I was like, wait, same Stuart Cooper, like the Stuart Cooper films, like that guy? Oh shit, that's him. Dude, he's jacked as fuck.
You got time to be jacked as fuck, whatever.
I get it. I just I've never seen him compete, and dude showed up. I was impressed as shit.
He's swole.
He is very swole. It made me self-conscious of myself, Josh, as I'm not swole.
Anyway, he defeated Felipe Pomaski 0-0, 0-1 on penalties. Now, before you're like, where the fuck are these penalties and what's the point? This was run sort of like ADCC rules, where the first 5 minutes was no points and the second 5 minutes was points, but if you pulled guard, you would lose points. Did you stop recording?
Nope, I just turned the gain off because it's bouncing in my ears.
Okay.
I'm leaving this in.
You just started fucking around with buttons.
Yeah, it was loud in my ears, Josh. I had to stop it. So yeah, they mentioned that numerous times in the broadcast that it was ADCC rules, but they had a couple minor changes, and those are the rules. I honestly this event ran really well. I like
not very long.
No, I like ADCC rules on super fights or events like this. I find that of all the rule sets, the ADCC rule set fosters action the most. Not sure what about it, why. For some reason, when a thing uses ADCC rules, you get the least amount of stalling, unless you're in ADCC.
Okay. I see what you're saying there. So, next, the DJ Jackson.
I was wondering, the DJ Jackson?
Yes. The quarterfinals. I'm sorry. I was looking at the results, and it says 4F, and I'm like, what? And then I'm like, oh, yeah, quarterfinals. DJ Jackson defeated Sammy Baki by Kimura lock.
Dude.
Is anybody surprised?
No. He sets that shit up, walked over, he fucking mauled him. It was crazy. I was like, God damn. And Josh talked about him getting Kimura by DJ Jackson before. I was like, oh, I bet this is what that match looked like.
I don't know. That match was longer. That match was 30 minutes long. DJ Jackson will tell you that he was not that good as a blue belt. And his was an early blue belt, DJ Jackson.
Dude, he just hunts that Kimura and hunts the Kimura and hunts the Kimura and transitions to north-south and hunts the Kimura and hunts the Kimura. Dude, it was good. I love watching DJ Jackson work. The way he bases, the speed in which he dives into the guard and tries to cut out. Dude, this is a great match to have as your second tournament match because it got me hyped. I was like, oh, DJ Jackson looks good. He is on point today. Indeed. Next match.
Craig Jones defeated Alberto Frias by points, not by heel hook. 7-0. You guys thought he was going to heel hook him.
I thought he was going to heel hook him the entire time. I was like, ooh, but then he racked up some points. I was like, oh, shit. Craig going to get a points win. He can do it.
He knows how to score.
He does know how to score. He did well. He looked really good in this match. The entire time, he obviously knows the points. He's a fucking black belt, and it looked like it here. Real good.
Final quarterfinal match. Ben Hodgkinson's defeated James Brasco 2-2 ref's decision. James Brasco almost got his arm pulled off.
Mm-hmm. This is for me at least, a very clear ref's decision. It was definitely a close match, but I went, yeah, Ben probably got that one, and then he gets the one. I was like, okay, cool, that makes sense to me.
From prior experience watching James Brasco compete, he is susceptible to that Kimura. The way he drives forward, he is susceptible to that Kimura, every time.
Who got him with that?
Everybody.
Right. Well, there's that.
Lee got him with that.
Huh.
Our coach got him in the ADCC trials, the year that Chris Weidman won, and nobody knew who he was. My coach went against him.
2008 trials then.
Yeah.
Okay.
And James shot in and took him down, but this was the beginning of the match, so no points. And our coach is enormous, and in the height-wise, he's like 6'4", and he just reached over and Kimura'd the shit out of him, and Brasco just kind of like drove his arm through and finally saved himself. But I've seen a lot of his matches where people will go to that and just grab it up. So that's how that happened. Let's move on to the semifinals. DJ Jackson defeated Stuart Cooper 3-0.
On points. Stuart got knocked out. I was kind of sad about that. Was not surprised about that, considering it's DJ fucking Jackson and he looked on point, but it happened.
It did. And Craig Jones defeated Ben Hodgkinson by outside heel hook.
That surprised no one. I was like, oh shit, Craig Jones. Oh, there it is. Okay. Heel hook.
Yeah. So the match that we talked about previously, wanting to see, happened.
I was super excited about it. I was like, yes, we're going to see it. As soon as Craig heel hooked him, I was like, fuck yeah, we're going to see DJ Jackson and Craig Jones. Finally.
Yeah. So we were waiting for this at Kasai. It didn't happen because DJ couldn't make it. So now it's happening here at Boa Super 8. It's weird saying Super 8. It's like a hotel.
I just call it Boa 8. Or Boa.
Boa.
I think Boa is easier to say than Boa Super 8 Invitational, the 4th edition.
Boa Super 8 tournament. How about that?
Boa.
Okay.
Got
anyway. So Craig Jones pulled guard immediately.
But that's what he does. Like, dude.
He got a penalty for it, and that's what cost him the match, because DJ Jackson is a goddamn master of staying super low in your guard and not letting you do anything to him. He, at one point, got caught in full guard and almost got Kimura'd, but he muscled out of that and just kept on making pass attempts and kept going, and that's how the match ended.
So you one penalty for pulling.
Let DJ Jackson take you down into guard. Especially if the first 5 minutes don't have any points. Now you're not going to lose a penalty. And
yeah,
if
but
you
if he takes... Okay, I'm listening.
Start attacking after the takedown and you have more attacks, you could potentially get the referee's decision.
Oh, right, because there's no points. In my head, I was like, we're going to get 2, and no, there's no points.
Now, it might wave the ref like, well, he got it to the ground, but yeah, he almost got Kimura'd, or he almost got this.
I feel like, and that's kind of the weird thing where the judging comes in. It's at the beginning of the match, let's say there's no points. That still does factor into the ref's decision, because they judge the match as a whole. So if let's say a dude racks up 3 or 5 theoretical points early in the match, but there's no point scoring, but the other guy has more sub attempts, at what point does the guy that's more active and passing than moving?
You have to think were the sub attempts like
were
legitimate?
Were they legitimate? Were they bullshit sub attempts? Were they super deep sub attempts?
That Kimura was fucking close.
Oh yeah. It's an interesting thing, and I don't know if there are rules about it or exactly how it's scored. So at the beginning of the match, let's say you score, 10 theoretical points. At what point does that negate the sub attempts at the beginning? So it's this weird little gray area where the points don't technically count as points. I'm using little quote marks there, but they definitely factor into a ref's decision.
Yeah. But I think if you're scoring 10 points in one of these style matches, you're going to score more points if you can't finish.
Probably.
So it's all speculation.
Yeah, you typically don't see guys get really dynamic at the end of it, where it's like a guy that's crushing a guy at the beginning continues to crush a guy. You don't usually see huge changes in the game. Initially, when they first put the rule set out, you kind of did, because guys were still learning like how to game the rules. But it's been around for a while now. People know how to game the rules. You typically see a guy do a very similar thing for the entirety of the match, points or no points. So, good. Great event. It's like 3 hours long-ish.
I enjoyed it.
A lot of fun.
It sucks that it comes on at 4:30 in the morning.
I missed it live. I couldn't. That's why I was super happy when they got the video up. I was like, thank God I can watch this. And I've said it a long time on the podcast, I love when they have the whole video up, because I like to just put an event on in the background. That means I can sit down, watch a match for a couple minutes when the match happens, and then leave it on, and then go about and do stuff in my house. And then when the next match comes, sit back down. It lets me break up what I'm trying to do at my house, and I love watching events that way, because I have ADD, and it's, for me, the best way to watch events.
It needs to be happening. And when they have singular matches, it's easy to just jump and get right into it, and I can skip around and not have to worry about jumping back and have gone back too far or gone too forward.
Yeah, I see that too. I like what Fight Pass does, and we'll talk about EBI here in a minute, if depending on where this is cut into the podcast. EBI, I love how each round they have round start, they have walkout start, they label it all on each match for the entire broadcast, so you can click through and you know exactly when something's going to happen in a match.
That's does kind of they have a dedicated fucking team of people that does this.
But I like it. It does kind of spoil matches sometimes when you see like walkout and then literally like 4 pixels later,
4 pictures later.
4 pixels later, you see match end. You're like, okay, someone gets flying subbed very quickly. But it was great. Great tournament. Go back and watch it. A lot of fun all the way from the super fights at the beginning to the end of the DJ Jackson and Craig Jones match. Great event. Props to Boa for putting on, another fun event. So on to EBI 16, the Female Bantamweights. This event took place in Los Angeles, California, I think.
San Diego.
Someplace in California, near
San
10th Planet headquarters. San Diego,
Not
allegedly.
near 10th Planet headquarters. Near 10th Planet
Geo's
Freaks.
place. Yeah, near Freaks.
Yes.
Okay, that's where I got confused.
Yep, it was the San Diego Community Center or some community.
It's going to smell like weed for like 4 days now.
Probably.
All right. So this event was a 16
woman, 135-pound tournament.
With 2 combat jiu-jitsu matches as well. There was one for a title at 170, and there was another just one-off combat jiu-jitsu match. So let's talk about those first, actually. Let's talk about something interesting first. Vagner Rocha, which originally scheduled to be on this event, versus Richie Martinez for the 170-pound EBI combat jiu-jitsu belt. Vagner Rocha is the 155-pound champion, and Richie Martinez is the 170-pound champion. Vagner was going to go up in weight, compete, fight Richie for that belt. Sometime in May, Vagner pulled out. He was replaced by Bobby Evans, and there's not really a reason given until today. Vagner posted something on Instagram that was basically like, I wasn't going to get paid unless I won, and I don't want to go. That's why he doesn't like the IBJJF. That's why he doesn't like other organizations, is that he's not going to get paid and not going to get money unless he wins. And he's like, I'm going to have to put all this time, go out to the event on the off chance that basically I'm going to get punched in the face or slapped in the face and do it for free. He's going to perform.
Let's not lie, though, and think that Vagner Rocha wouldn't slap the shit out of somebody for free.
Yeah, no. He did. I mean, he's done it before. We've seen him compete at EBI before and do it, but I think he has a very valid criticism that you're literally asking your returning champion to move up in weight class against a bigger guy, and you're not going to pay him to do that unless he wins and beats. It's a super fight. It's literally like a super fight, and you're not going to pay him unless he wins. I just think that's weird. It's not like a one-off tournament. It's not.
But we've discussed this before,
and we have. I just think
these people go out, they take their time away from whatever they're doing to train for this. They fly out there. I don't know if it's on their own dime or not.
I think competitors have assistance at least with air travel. John Calistein's talked about it before on another podcast where he's like, but he was an alternate, so he flew himself out to that event, and I think he was gonna stay in Eddie's hotel room or something, but I don't know if they're comped hotel rooms or not. I don't know that.
So we don't know any of this because it's not out there, and I'm not going to be like, hey, you need to release all this stuff. That's whatever.
It's a private company. It does do what they do.
But you go into this tournament knowing, 1, you have to win or you don't get paid.
You have to win.
And 2, you have to submit people in regulation time to get that money to get paid and still win the whole thing.
Yeah. You have in a 16-man bracket or 16-person bracket, you have 15 competitors that go home with $0. 2 of them got injured, at least this event. We saw one person get a toe hold, just cranked.
Lila Smadja.
Yep, got her leg hurt. Another woman got armbarred super hard, and I assume other people got some bumps and bruises for free. You had 15 competitors walk out with $0, and
so the only thing I can think of is you're working on picking up sponsors and being like, hey, you're going to be televised on Fight Pass. This is a chance to get your whatever out here.
But you're trying to highlight the highest level of jiu-jitsu. I think that's why they had the big problem with the Absolute card. They had all those monster grapplers, and then slowly but surely. Yeah, slowly, but not surely, I think, but slowly over, as you got closer to the event.
But not slowly by slowly either.
It was a dumb way to say it, I'll give you that. They dropped out and dropped out and dropped out, and you had to replace a bunch of people with other grapplers that weren't like Dean Lister and other monster guys because they dropped out for whatever reason, and
they ain't getting that Skrilla.
Probably not getting paid, but you have big name guys that have already made their own names. Like certain guys, like the EBI qualifiers, you're not going to get paid for that. I get it. You're an alternate. You get a big shot. You're a purple belt that doesn't have a name. You're getting a big shot. I can understand maybe not paying that guy. Maybe. But you're asking Vagner Rocha to come out, who is already your champion, for free.
At a lighter weight, though. But you're saying, hey, we're going to set this up and try to do this. But I still get the point where you're coming from and where he's coming from. I'm not getting paid to do this. Like, no matter what. Like, what happens if Boogie catches him, like, clips him right across the nose, breaks his nose? What happens if he knocks him unconscious and he paralyzes him? You never know. Any random weird shit can happen. You're not getting paid for that. Like,
it's just weird to me that I hope that they start paying guys, because I think you'll see a huge jump in the level of competitor that they get.
Would like for there to be a show fee. Like, you show up, you get X amount of dollars. But if you win the shit and you win it all with submissions, you get the big money as well.
I agree. So we've kind of beat that horse long enough, I think, unless you got anything else to add, Josh.
Nope.
Yep. So let's talk about Richie Martinez versus Bobby Evans. This is the Combat Jiu-Jitsu match, 170 title match. Richie Martinez is the current champion at 170. Bobby Evans stepping up, trying to win him, trying to beat him.
Trying to win him. Richie Martinez could not get out of side control.
That was weird.
Like, I'm like, dog.
Like, not a shrimp.
He really wasn't doing anything to, like, really escape. And then at one point he just, like, muscled everything and, like, pushed.
And then he beat Bobby in the scramble and got back on top.
And then from there it was all downhill for Bobby. But Richie got his guard passed, and it wasn't difficult. I'm not saying that Richie is a bad jiu-jitsu player by any means, but he went by, he got through, he was getting held down. I don't know if it was his strategy to just let Bobby burn himself out and then just win in the scramble, because Richie does win a lot in scrambles.
And I think that's where he's a straight up guard player, or a rubber guard player really, and he's a scramble guy. Like, that's where Richie does his best work. That's where we've seen him, like, fuck guys up, is
but you don't want to get caught in those positions. Like, Richie does compete in other things that have points.
Right.
You know, we've seen him at Nogi Worlds.
We saw him Gogo Plata guy this year at Nogi Worlds.
Right.
And then he got smashed in the second round. But, you
need to be able to, I'm not saying he can't, but you need... I don't know. It just didn't seem like there was much effort. He was like, that's my dude afterwards.
It looked like he didn't have an answer. That's what it looked. I assumed that Richie Martinez has an escape from bottom side control, but it didn't look like it. He wasn't doing anything until the moment he decided to, like, push him off of him and get up and scramble. Like, it was just weird he just held him there in bottom side control.
He didn't hold him there. I mean, he framed. Don't get me wrong. He was framing. And even it was pointed out on commentary, you hear the corner going jailbreak. And it's like, if you don't know what that is, watch any BJ Penn match where the guy starts to pass his guard and he throws his leg through and then re-guards. That's what a jailbreak is. He tried it and then he stopped. And again, I don't know if he was just like, I'm just going to let him burn himself out. I know the time.
I mean, whatever he did, it worked.
It worked because he got on top and, Scott Ross said Richie calls it a darcetine, which is like a Japanese necktie and a darce combined. Whatever it was like a necktie of some sorts, and he cranked on it and tapped him.
So he retains the belt at 170, still the champion at 170 for Combat Jiu-Jitsu for EBI. On to the next match, which was a Combat Jiu-Jitsu match. PJ Barch defeats Michael Gonzalez via Kimura, and not a single strike was thrown in this match.
Nope.
Not one from either competitor. This is a jiu-jitsu match where you could strike, but they didn't.
He rocked that Kimura, though.
Oh, yeah, no. The transition was beautiful. Like, he had control the entire time. And
yeah, he just controlled the entire time, used the Kimura grip to just set up everything. And then
series of transitions, rolled him through, came back. I mean, beautiful work. It was just weird for me to see a combat jiu-jitsu match that
nobody wanted to hit anybody.
Zero of the combat jiu-jitsu. That's just jiu-jitsu. Like, there was an outstanding opportunity for PJ Barch to slam the ribs. And he just didn't. There was a couple times where he could have done stuff and not really eliminate or give up any control, and he just elected to just do jiu-jitsu. Nothing. I don't have any problem with that. It was just weird for me to see, and I think this is the first combat jiu-jitsu match that I can think of where that's happened.
Right. And talking about combat jiu-jitsu anyway, it was announced that the next EBI will be an all combat jiu-jitsu card, so why not just call it combat jiu-jitsu and not EBI 17?
I'm not sure.
It's 180 pounds. It's all combat jiu-jitsu matches.
Could be a branding thing. I can't talk about how they...
Maybe the CJJ thing didn't really work out for them in the scheme of things where it made it a separate event, and maybe the UFC was like, just call it EBI, but just do all the matches under that.
Not sure.
I don't know.
Again, nothing would surprise me for that, but those are the two combat jiu-jitsu matches. And if you got anything else to add, Josh, on to the 18 women bracket.
16.
I mean, Jesus Christ. 16 woman bracket. It's been a long day.
Bia Mosqueda defeated Miri Naidar. I think I said that right. By armbar. That was really quick.
Yeah, Bia is very good. So, we'll talk about it at the end. Bia is very good, and it was very evident for this entire
There were a few people
card.
that were very good, and it was very evident. There we go.
Yeah.
And, yeah. So the next match, Amanda Leve defeated Brooke Mayo by overtime submission via rear naked choke.
Getting the sub.
Amanda, I mean, they went back and forth. She did very well. It went to overtime. Amanda rocked that rear naked choke like a champ and then survived the armbar attempt by Brooke Mayo long enough to just have it called because of time frame.
Only one overtime in the preliminary rounds.
Yeah.
Which I like, which is a good way to do it. You don't have to deal with 3 overtimes. It doesn't go 4 hours long.
And this card went by really fast.
It was a real quick card. I enjoyed it.
So Talia Vaughn defeated Pamela Aguirre by pressure. She leaned on her and she tapped.
Injury, maybe?
Possibly.
So that is the only thing I could come up with. I didn't understand it.
I didn't really either. Luana Alzugir defeated Jess Feliciano by overtime sub. It was awesome seeing Luana come out of jiu-jitsu retirement. She hasn't really competed in a really long time.
And they joked about that on the mic. They were like, she retired, but that doesn't really mean anything in MMA or jiu-jitsu. You kind of retire, and then you come back, and then you retire, and then you come back. So, again, good to see her come back. Good to see her get the win.
Bianca Basilio played Craig Jones and toe-holded Kayla Patterson, and she did it really, really quick and it didn't look like she wanted to waste any time and wanted to immediately get to the finals.
Mm-hmm.
Sophia Nordeno defeated Liz Tracy by calf slicer.
This is that textbook calf slicer.
Yo, that shit was slick.
Mm-hmm.
It just happened through transition where she was...
she set it up.
She set it up, but it was in that same transition.
Oh, yeah. You're trying to turn, and then you stop turning. You slide the leg behind. You trap their own leg on your body.
Yeah,
it's exactly what Charles Oliveira hit on.
Yeah.
It's that what I call the standard calf slicer.
Yeah.
Really.
Let's see, where'd I go? Nikki Sullivan defeated Tracy Goodell by quickest escape in overtime.
We've seen Nikki Sullivan on Slug Spectrum.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and...
Fight to Win, I
Fight
think?
to Win.
Yep. You'll see her frequently.
Yes.
Always love seeing her.
Yes. Lila Smaja defeated Amanda Ribas by heel hook.
First one of the match. First one of the night.
Yes.
Every EBI, it's ever present.
Yeah, but this is actually a little bit more...
you saw a lot more top game.
diversified.
Yeah, you saw a
in
lot.
their submission choices. It wasn't heel hook, heel hook, heel hook, heel
Mm-hmm.
hook. Not saying that people didn't go for them, but people won by other things, such as arm bars and triangles.
And mirror locks.
And we'll get to that in the
that.
quarterfinals. Bia Mosqueda defeated Wait, scoot down a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, okay. Oh, no. I'm thinking of something else. Sorry. I'm saying Bia Mesquita, but I'm thinking Bianca Basilio. They both called him Bia at one point. Bia Mesquita defeated Amanda Leve by triangle choke.
We're into the quarterfinals now at this point.
Luana Alzugir defeated Jess Feliciano by heel hook. It was a sweet little setup, too. Bianca Basilio, once again, not wasting any time, mirror locked. Yes, you heard that correct. Mirror locked Sofia Nordeno.
If you don't know what a mirror lock is, it's what Frank Mir hits on Pete Williams in the UFC. But Frank Mir did it from the Z guard and like turned his body over and was gorilla strong about it. Bianca Basilio did it from the closed guard.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
She Sophia took the underhook
overhook over and was just like, eh.
It was a weird side. It's not a sub you usually see hit from the closed guard because the opponent usually does some stuff.
Angle.
What?
I wish you could rotate the angle of the camera.
See, it's a side angle.
Uh-huh.
To me, it was an odd sub. Like, it's not a sub you see from the closed guard because your opponent usually will do additional things or push their arm through or punch their arm through. You need that Z guard to hit it. So I'm not really sure how she was able to hit it from the closed guard in the way she did.
Just the way she angled it and pulled it across. It was awesome.
It's cool. I love me some mirror locks. I was super successful with them at blue belt. Because I'm a small dude, so everyone punches that underhook and tries to come through. You just turn over, get that high Z guard, and just crank through. It's a great sub. You just don't see it a ton.
Nope. Nikki Sullivan defeated Lila Smadja by toe hold. This was one of those matches that we talked about. Somebody got hurt. Lila was holding her foot, and
they didn't bring her hand up at the end of the mat. She just walked off the mat and they raised Nikki's hand.
Yeah, they didn't bring her to the center of the mat. She was definitely holding it. Nobody really came out. Did you see a medic?
No, they did. They walked her off the mat. Yeah,
but still, it was like, yo, her foot's fucked up.
Oh, it was fucked up. Like, it was not. Women have the bendy joints, but it bent too far. It was like you saw it. I was like, ooh, that's not. And you saw your tap. You're like, yeah, that's gonna suck. That's a rough injury. So, yep. On to the semifinals.
Bia Mesquita defeated Luana Alzugir by mounted triangle. Bia was just a beat ahead and just staying on top of it. And then Scott Ross was saying some dumb shit. And was like...
No, let's save it to the end. Let's save Scott Ross to the end.
I will. But he was saying some dumb shit. And Bia Mesquita was in side control. And... TJ DeSantis, not Dos Santos. TJ DeSantis was like, well, what can she do from here? And he's like, she can do a quick arm bar where she transitions over. Mind you, she's got a hold of the arm and the other arm is kind of pinned. It's like, no, you just step right into a mounted triangle. Yeah. And that's
she was like stapled. Did. She was stapled over on the arm with the top leg.
Yeah.
It's like, that's what, and that pissed me off because it was obviously what she was setting up. Like, yes. It wasn't like a sneaky. It was like a sneaky setup where she was like, "Oh, she transitioned fast." It was like, "Okay, staple the arm, walk over, change the hips out." It's like she's obviously trying to get the leg around to go behind the head to get it, and then they didn't know what it was.
Let's dial it back in because we're gonna start going off, and it's gonna be really bad if we go into it. Anyway, moving back to it, Bianca Basilio defeated Nikki Sullivan by armbar. Bianca Basilio, again, with the quickness. She was not messing around. She wanted all of that energy for Bia Mesquita.
Mm-hmm.
In the finals, Bia Mesquita versus Bianca Basilio. They were going back and forth with each other. Bianca was playing a lot of guard.
It was a rough match. They got heated at one point.
It seemed heated, and then there was some smiles and people saying things we're not 100% sure.
Somebody kicked someone.
There was a definite kick to launch themselves out of a position. Anyway, it goes to overtime. Overtime starts. Bia Mesquita rips Bianca Basilio's arm out in 4 seconds. I was like,
4.
Was she not defending it? I'm confused. And then Bianca Basilio had 4 seconds to submit Bia Mesquita.
Good luck, Josh. That might be one of the fastest overtime subs that's been in EBI.
Possibly.
I cannot think of another faster overtime sub I've ever seen. I've seen ones in like 10 or 12 seconds, but I don't think I've seen one in 4 seconds. That was amazing.
Yeah. So Bianca did not submit her in 4 seconds. And Bia stood up and immediately looked like a bobblehead the way she was shaking her head like, yeah, I am the shit.
She won a lot of money.
She did.
20 grand.
Did she win the full 20?
No, she didn't submit in the finals. So I think
15 then?
Is it 20? Is it 25 or is it? It's 5,000 per. So she gets sub in the first round.
Are we 100%
sub in the quarters.
sure? Did they pull
15, no, 15 grand. 15 grand.
Okay, so it was for 20 grand.
Yeah,
and
it was
she
for
only
20
got
grand.
15.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was the same amount still as like the dudes divisions.
Yeah, it was the same amount of money, which I think is cool.
That's good.
They're not going to bullshit him like, oh, it's $3,000 this time, because that's a constant problem in the sport. It's like, okay, men's division wins 10 grand, women's division wins 3 grand. You're like, dude, what?
Yeah,
I get there's less competitors, but
still,
Jesus. So she wins. Good event, good card. I picked this entire bracket when I saw it. The matchups were not favorable to.
If anybody didn't foresee Bia Mesquita and Bianca Basilio in the finals, you were silly.
Mm-hmm.
And once the brackets came out and you saw Luana Alzugir was on Bia Mesquita's side, Luana is a very, very good competitor. But Bia's just been in jiu-jitsu continuously
Bia's
these past
a multiple-time decorated
so is Luana
world
Alzugir.
champ,
but she's been away for a while.
And that's the big kicker. It's like Bia's just been
firing
a decade plus of just like at the color belts too. 2006 onward, she's got records and this win and that win and this win. I looked up in BJJ Heroes to verify that before I just said some dumb shit.
I still think you might have said some dumb shit, but that's besides the point. She's just been a continuous competitor in the black belt division and just keeps going and competing and competing and competing. Luana's like switched to MMA where the gi jiu-jitsu and even like straight up no gi jiu-jitsu.
Even it's sport jiu-jitsu, it's a little different.
Right. It's not focused on those things. And I was like, Bia Mesquita and Bianca Basilio are going to be in the finals together. And that's going to be that.
And it was.
I mean, this was an easy one to pick.
Mm-hmm.
So let's bitch.
Let's go to the honestly, not gonna lie, stream was good.
Audio was good.
The matches were up immediately. You can replay the whole event. They do the little timers for each walkout, for the submission, for the tail of the tape.
TJ DeSantis again improved on the last time that he was there.
He does that. He's asking his color commentators good questions. He's phrasing it well. Like he's talking through the position. Dude, he's gotten way better as a commentator.
For EBI,
like,
absolutely.
He thinks everything's amazing, but
yes,
I have no problem with him as a commentator. When he first got on Invicta a couple years ago, I didn't particularly care for him. Really grown on me as a commentator. Happy to listen to him. Very professional. And he sounds like a professional broadcaster.
And it seems that he's been training jiu-jitsu more, so he's picking up on more things.
And he doesn't say dumb shit.
No. And that is the highlight of the commentary is you don't say dumb shit. Then you have his counterpart, Scott Ross. Where the fuck did they find this guy?
I checked. He's a black belt under Eddie. He's a black belt. At one point, I mean, I'm going to pull it up, Josh. You say what you have at the commentary. I'm going to pull up. I wrote the quote down because it was so dumb.
Okay, go. Holy shit, Scott Ross is just bad. Like, commentary, his predictive commentary, his cadence, his tone, it's just awful.
He sounds super high.
I don't care if you're super high. Like, Jeff Glover, I'm pretty sure, is super high plenty of times, and he's been able to talk.
Right, but Ross sounds it. And, he can't...
Joe Rogan is high all the time. He finishes a thought. It's just, it doesn't make any sense. And he says shit, and then you're like, that's not going to happen. And anybody that's been in jiu-jitsu for 6 months can see, hey, that's probably not going to happen. And then it doesn't happen. And then he goes, oh, or that can happen.
Okay, he literally says on the broadcast, this is basically a different kind of jiu-jitsu that you might let someone pass your guard and mount you just to set something up. You will never do that. Gordon Ryan did that as like a joke at a local tournament. In an EBI professional event, you are never going to let someone pass your guard and mount you to set something up. There are people at a high world-class level, world championship level, that for an entire camp will count how many times their guard gets passed. And it's usually in the single digits for an entire camp at that high level. It's not a thing that exists. You're not going to let someone pass your guard and mount you to set something up. He said that on a professional commentary event.
The thing is, it gives jiu-jitsu as a whole a bad name because it's teaching you to fight from disadvantageous positions. It's teaching you that it's okay for these things to happen in any form when it comes to jiu-jitsu. And whether you practice sport jiu-jitsu, you practice it for fun, you do self-defense jiu-jitsu, nobody is going to tell you to let people mount you. In a self-defense situation, that is the dumbest thing you can do because you're going to get
in a sports setting
punched in the face. In a sports setting, somebody's going to try to choke the shit out of you. They're already up 4 points.
At minimum. If they passed your guard,
now they're up 7 points. You know, that's a mountain to climb.
A 7-point deficit is a huge deficit to make up.
Even if you're in the gym, unless the drill specifically is to escape mount, you are not going to let somebody mount you. You might let the white belt that's been training 2 days pass your guard and mount you just to roll them over.
To teach him that, like, okay, this is what, if you keep your base forward, I'm going to roll you over. And they're going to learn that. But it's a teaching thing. You're not letting him do that from a tactical perspective.
It's like...
There are
other 10th Planet black belts that could talk on a mic that would be able to do the commentary. There has to be someone else. It takes away from the viewing.
It makes people that...
It's not enjoyable to watch.
This is the biggest event in jiu-jitsu, EBI. It has the most casual eyes on it. It's on Fight Pass. It's not Japanese. It's an American jiu-jitsu event with American grapplers and English commentators from Eddie Bravo that people are familiar with.
All American. There were Brazilian
there
people
were,
won.
but it's geared towards an American audience. It's not Copa Podio. It's
Copa Podio.
It's geared towards an American audience. Okay, Eddie Bravo pimps it on Joe Rogan all the time. You have casual people listening to this, and it makes people that practice jiu-jitsu sound like idiots. This is what you're showcasing. This is the commentary of the event.
Bad for the sport. That's what I'm going to say. That's bad for the sport in general, across anything. Like, again, if you're Gordon Ryan and you're going up against, Maine, fuck yeah, you're going to let him mount you because then you're going to wing something up and you're going to heel hook him and that's going to call it a day.
Because there's such a massive skill deficit you can
and
do
size
that.
deficit.
Okay, Gordon Ryan's not going to do that for Felipe Pena. He's not going to let Buchecha pass his guard and mount him. He's not going to let Hodger do that. He's not going to let...
Shit, I don't even think he'd let Gary do that.
I was just going to say Gary. Might let Nicky do it, but I doubt it.
I don't think he would let Nicky do it.
But it's not a thing. And he said that on the commentary. It's a thing he said, and he believed it. You might let someone pass your guard and mount you just to set something up.
I'm literally grabbing my head. There's got to be somebody better. I'm sorry. Like, we've gone through 16 cards. The ones that they started putting up online, and making it professional and making it look really good, not like the random cell phone videos that we got for the first two or whatever it was. You've had commentary.
The production quality is amazing.
And it's gone up each time.
Yeah.
It's been great each time. But you drag everything down by using Scott Ross as a voice of your promotion. If you say EBI and you think, what do I think about EBI? Okay, there's a lot of heel hooks. It's sub-only. I've seen a lot of cool people.
It's an exciting event. They promote it. It's
all
cool.
That.
It's sub-only jiu-jitsu.
There's shitty commentary. And you know that every time. Because you can go anywhere and look on any message board or talk to anybody that watched it in jiu-jitsu and they go, oh, what do you think about the commentary? I mute it. That's what you hear a lot. I mute it. Or I don't listen because it's fucking ridiculous. And that takes away from it because you're sitting there in silence watching people roll on the ground now. Now, if your girlfriend just walked in watching you, she sees you watch EBI 16, the female bantamweights, it's a bunch of women rolling around. And she's going to go, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah. So, again, we love the event. Like, partially why this upsets me to such a degree is because EBI is such a good event. Yeah, they don't necessarily have some of the top level people all the time, but they put on a fun event and they're showcasing grappling and they're getting eyes to casual viewers. There's plenty of people that have started jiu-jitsu because of EBI. They saw EBI on Fight Pass. What's this? I'll watch that. Oh, shit, this looks really cool. Oh, there's a gym near me I can go train at. And they go and train. And you get another person into jiu-jitsu that's about it, that's enjoys the sport. But we got to listen to this.
The thing is, it's also a huge promotional tool to get people to sign up for 10th Planet.
They have like a 5-minute ad for 10th Planet in there. Let's not even get on the ads this time.
I didn't even really notice them.
Dude, the Duncan Trussell ad.
Oh, yeah. I stopped paying attention
That was
to that.
like a stoner, rambly story that was like, okay, I don't want to buy that Tussauds now. It was that bad. It was like Duncan Trussell having... It sounded like a high school sophomore ate a pot brownie and had a first day of a philosophy course and then had like the keys to like his like life and then rambled for 2 minutes and then sold a hemp backpack. Like, that's what it sounded like. It was a bad commercial.
Their commercials, like the terrorist one...
Those are at least funny. Duncan Trussell's was like this weird, rambly thing.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was bad. It wasn't like, haha, funny. It was just like, okay, this is just a bad commercial. This is not getting picked up for season 2. So
some people need to say, hey, Eddie, this is a bad idea. Somebody needs to watch these things and go, yo, don't show that.
It just makes us look like a bunch of dumbasses. So
yeah.
That's all I got to say about that.
Okay, we're done bitching. EBI as a card was fucking great. It wasn't one of those long drug out ones either. This one finished up super fast. It's always enjoyable to watch. I always look forward to the next one.
The combat jiu-jitsu ones will be fun.
Just get rid of Scott Ross.
That's all I got.
Yep, that's it.
So on to a brief preview of IBJJF American Nationals 2018. This event's going to be streamed on Flow Grappling, which is why we're covering it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's hey, more jiu-jitsu to cover. Not mad at that.
They keep trying to push this, or not push this. It seems like they're trying to grow this event to another big American event.
It's one of the events that it is streamed, but it wasn't through Flow Grappling. It was streamed on something else. People cover it.
Was it YouTube?
No, it was on some other site. It was free still, but it wasn't anything where there was a paywall, but it was just not Flow Grappling.
Yeah. I think it's really hard to have another major event this close to Worlds.
I don't think so.
We just had Worlds. What?
That was like 3 weeks ago.
Less than a month ago. You have your big event for the Worlds.
Some of these IBJJF events are just as big, if not bigger, than the Worlds. Like Europeans is just fucking big.
Brasileiros is huge. Brasileiros is huge because the guys
Worlds Masters is shown.
Yeah, well, Worlds Masters I think is the second or third largest tournament in the world. It's huge. So on to the IBJJF not World Masters. Jesus, American Nationals.
Is it closed? The registration? I think it is.
Would assume you're a week out. Yeah, I would assume you're closed at this point in time.
Anyway, in the Rooster division, 2 competitors, Carlos Alberto Oliveira da Silva from GF Team and Nobuhiro Sawada from Triforce Jiu-Jitsu.
We just saw him on Quintet.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we did. Mm-hmm. That's right.
That's where we've seen Nobuhiro Sawada not infrequently, but we saw him most recently on Quintet a little bit ago. So on to the light featherweight division with 4.
Atos Team coming at you with 2 guys, Lucas Pinheiro and Pablo Mantovani. Also in the division from Brasa, Rene Lopez, and from Soul Fighters, João Pedro Oliveira Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm. On to the male featherweight division for the black belts.
10 10 folks in that one. From Alliance, Nicholas Welker. American Top Team sends the Maheka brothers, Brian and Kevin. From Aries BJJ, Jonathan Van Buren. Scott Dance from BJJ Revolution. Rodrigo Lopez Cardoso from Lead BJJ. Cicero Costa black belt. Hikar Emiliano Noguera. Rodrigo Pinero, you have Tiago Augusto. From Zenith, you have Eduardo Bottega. And from ZR Team California, you have Bruno Carvalho.
Onto the male black belt lightweight division.
From Alliance, Peter Silva. Asociao Oriente? Really?
What?
Is that an academy name?
Um,
Is that like the Orient Association?
I believe so. Yeah. How do you say that?
I'm
I'm always want to make it Spanish and it's
Ciao?
Portuguese and it's got different phonetics to it.
I don't know. Orient. Is that? It's Herbert Burns. Is that Gilbert Burns'
Dorino?
brother?
Is it Dorino?
No.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Yeah, that's Gilbert Burns'
Yeah, it's Gilbert
brother.
Burns' brother. Yep.
Yeah, okay.
I completely missed that.
From Carlson Gracie Team, Alexandre Faria Molinero. Man, there are some of these jiu-jitsu teams that I've not heard of. Cesar Cardoso, Robert Wolf, Lucas Tobias, Marcus Wilson, John Lawrence, Daniel Davis, and Rodrigo Freitas.
Onto the middleweight division. 7 competitors in this division.
Bruno Cavalcante Machado. You have Gustavo Bessa, Juan Barbosa, Sean Roberts. I haven't seen him in a while.
I think we saw him not too long ago.
It's been a little bit. Hugo Alcala. We have Ben Henderson. Not the same one. That's because he's Benson.
Yeah, so I was like, I think his name is Benson Henderson.
It's Benson.
Yeah, so it's Ben.
And then you have Scott Tometz.
And then onto the medium heavyweight division of 4.
Nisar Loinab. Samir Abdelkader, who's a local guy. Gabriel Hosha. And Manuel Hibamar.
Onto the heavyweight division.
We have, that is a big name. Miguel Augusto Pasos dos Santos Silva. That's a long one.
That was really good, Josh.
Thank you.
Props to you.
Rafael de Lima, Orlando Montero, Gianni Crivello, and Tanner Weissgram.
Onto the super heavyweight division.
Daniel Hampton, Caio with a C, Fonseca, Wellington Perotto, and James Popolo.
And then onto the ultra heavyweight division with 4.
Moku Joseph Kahawai, Francisco De Leon, John Hansen, and Aaron Adajamian.
Man, not a ton of big names. Onto the female division. We have for the light featherweights.
Patty Fontes, Bruna Burns, and Misa Bastos.
Female featherweight has 1 competitor.
And Karen Atunes.
Female lightweight has 3 competitors.
Tammy Musamechi, Sarah Black, and YX Shang.
This is one of the better divisions of the entire tournament. This is like, I think we'll probably see Musamechi and Young in this one. Onto the medium heavyweight division.
Andressa Sintra and Brenda Freitas.
And then onto the heavyweights, there's 1.
Natalie DeJesus.
So I think she takes that division, Josh.
I think she takes the absolute as well.
Yep, I'd agree with that. That's good. So that's American Nationals. It's going to be streaming on Flow on June 28th through 30th. Always fun to watch it. So on to our preview of Fight to Win Pro 78 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This is main evented by a 175-pound black belt gi event, Brandon Bergeron versus John Combs. And
I thought you were going to fuck up Bergeron.
And I got this. Seen his name before, Josh. I got this now. The co-main event
is a 210 black belt gi match. Oscar Hipp versus Matt Layton. Ooh,
excited to see Matt Layton back. We haven't seen him in what?
Couple
3
of
weeks?
Couple of
Something
weeks.
like that.
Couple of weeks.
Dope guard. This will be. It'll be. I love seeing Layton. Awesome.
It'll be exciting.
Awesome competitor.
145-pound black belt gi match. Kelly Johnson versus Barrett Yoshida.
I'm curious to see if this is a Masters title. I don't know. Barrett, you should have just competed for one a little bit ago. I do not think he won, but
You got to work up them points again.
Yep, so that'll be fun. I love watching Barrett compete. I think he's probably the favorite in this event, but it's
We'll see.
it's fun.
210-pound black belt no-gi match. Here comes my first name fuck up of this. Mike Miskawiak? I'll go with that.
No idea.
Until I hear it. Versus Antoine Evans. 165-pound black belt gi match. Ronald Larson versus João Alfredo Tavares. 155-pound black belt gi match. Ryan Potbaum. I almost said Potterbottom. I don't know how I was going to get that, but Potbaum.
I'm not gonna bullshit you, Josh. I read almost the same thing.
Oh, okay. So I don't feel so bad.
I put an R in there that it's not there. It's like Potterbomb. No, there's no R.
Potbaum.
Potbomb.
Versus Sergio Hernandez. 145-pound black belt match.
Black belt match. Doesn't say gi or no gi.
Jose Varela versus Chris Dashel. A heavyweight no-gi match. Don't know if it's brown belt or black belt. Just as heavyweight no-gi. Zigmar's Evamois versus James Barnes. Also, notable shout-out, once again, the Night Pigeon.
The walkout king.
Indeed. 200-pound brown belt gi match. Troy Everett versus Richard Lee.
Dude, I'm so excited to see how he walks out this time.
You think he's going to come out to Prince? That is like Prince's, where Prince is
Oh,
from.
Minneapolis. I could see it.
Oh, if
Dude.
he comes out to Dove's Fly, or he comes... What happens if he comes out in a red Corvette Power Wheel to Little Red Corvette?
I realize that I'm a couple years younger than you, Josh. And a lot of these
But you
references are lost upon me. Yeah, I do.
know Little Red Corvette
I
by
do.
Prince.
Yeah, because of the purple rain and the purple gi.
Also would be equally good if he releases Doves and comes out. This is Doves. When Doves cry.
What is he? What's that director? Woo with the doves?
John Woo.
What is he? John Woo? Come on, this is 2018. There's 3 guys who can release doves. One of them's John Woo. The others are like other guys I don't know about.
Oh, what happens if he brings pigeons and he just releases
He
pigeons?
released a bunch of pigeons. I think Seth would be upset about that.
I don't know. I think he'd be thoroughly amused.
What are you doing, Troy? Releasing a bunch of pigeons in the event?
Somebody's going to get shit on by a bird
So that event happens on June 30th.
next week.
Next week. It'll be great.
Normally when we preview things.
Yes, Josh. That's how this show works. Hey, how you doing? This goes out to all the competitors that are going to be on the Maryland Fight to Win Pro card. If you are in the area and you're on that card, look out for Rule 7 Meal Prep. They are sponsoring any grappler on that card. They have 7 meals on their menu per week, made with 7 ingredients or less, and each one of those ingredients has 7 ingredients or less in it. Maine and Josh both use the service, so if you're on that card, reach out to them on social media, on either Facebook or Instagram, and set something up. So on to our preview of ACBJJ 14 in Moscow, Russia.
We didn't forget that shit this time.
Dude, I think we've forgotten the last 3 ACBJJ events. We've literally left, you've gone to your car, and then like I've called you back and go, hey,
Fuck.
we forgot ACBJJ.
Oh, we caught that one. The one before
We
you
did.
moved where I was like, hey, it's ACB.
Yeah, we caught it accidentally. We've caught it accidentally twice, and we forgot it completely for ACBJJ 10, one of the biggest cards ever. So this event is going to be on June 30th. Happens about 11 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, our local time.
Starts at 6 p.m. there in Russia.
In Russia. So this fight card is amazing, as per usual.
Do you want to start from the bottom or the top?
Start from the bottom. Now we're here, Josh.
Okay.
So there's
23 matches. Holy fuck nuggets.
Yeah, huge card.
It's because it's in Russia. Will Vladimir Putin be there?
Who? Oh, there's probably some
Will
giant.
Fedor be there?
I assume Fedor's going to be there. I assume Fedor is at all ACB and Russian events. So onto the card. Enough about us postulating who's going to be at the event.
Will Jean-Claude Van Damme and or Steven Seagal be there? That's what makes it a serious event.
Oh, Jesus Christ. So, match 23, the first match of the card. Rodney Barbosa versus Shamir Chantre, a 60-kilogram match.
Shamir? Is he a bagel with Shamir?
Samir Chantre.
Samir Chantre.
This is why you read the names, man. I try it, and then every episode, just butcher it.
Yeah, whatever. That's going to be an awesome match.
That opens the card.
I know. I like how they say it's match 23 when technically it's match 1. and the number 1 match is actually match 23.
Interesting way to do it.
Whatever. Marcos Oliveira versus Gabriel Lucas.
95 kilo match.
Kilos. Marcelo Mafra versus Michael Lange. That shit is going to be Oh, I just noticed a match. Fuck that match. Next match. No, I'm kidding. Marcelo Mafra versus Michael Lange will be really interesting. I think Michael Lange just takes it because he's Michael Lange. But the next match is very interesting to me. Josh Hinger versus Hamalo Bahal at 85 kilos.
I hope he has his match and then immediately goes back on the commentary.
Oh, yeah, that'd be sweet.
I love Hinger on commentary.
That would be
He's been
sweet.
popping in almost every event, and it's been just a joy to listen to him on the mic. It's gonna be a fun match. It's an 85 kilo match.
That's gonna be a stiff test for Hinger.
Mm-hmm. That's not a step up in competition, but dude, Hamalo is fucking good.
Yes.
God damn.
Yes, he is. Thiago Sa versus Ayub Magomedov at 85 kilos. Thiago Sa is a pretty solid competitor. Ooh, really? Kim Terra versus Augusto Mendez. Tanquinho.
65 kilo match.
Tanquinho has not looked good as of recently.
And Kim Terra's been on the upswing. We've seen him a couple times on ACBJJ.
It'll be interesting to see where this one ends up. Gabriel Marangoni versus Osvaldo Moisinho, a.k.a. Queixinho.
65 kilo match.
Marangoni is a solid competitor, but so is Moisinho. He played spoiler for Grippo, so I curse him and his family.
Jesus, Josh.
He just spoiled my All-American featherweight final.
Yeah, he did. He looked good at the World, so.
He did. Oop, here comes one that I am going to butcher. Ali Bagov versus Gadzimurad Hiramagomedov.
82 kilogram match.
What a random weight.
Yep, that is kind of weird. 82 kilos. There's another one, top of the card.
Oh, yeah. Whatever. I can't say anything about that match that's going on. It's probably more of like Russian dudes or Dagestani dudes or something of that sort.
Some local monster grappler that they've... Not local.
That will be like, holy shit, we're glad we didn't sleep on this match.
Every time, man, they bring on some some high-level Russian guy. I'm like, who's this guy? Oh, shit, look at this guy.
Yeah. Marcio Andre versus Lucas Rocha at 75 kilos. Man, Marcio Andre's been hit or miss too as of recently, so it'll be interesting to see how he does.
Again, when he's on, he's fucking a killer, but when he's off, it's like, ooh, that's he's had some weird performances as of late.
Yes. Match 14, which does not have a weight class.
Open weight, baby.
Murad Machev versus Adland Batayev.
I don't know, Josh.
Those the A and the E next to each other always throws me off. The next match will also be fire. Isaac Doderlin versus Bruno Frazato
at 65 kilos.
Man,
who do you see? How do you see that match going?
Doderlin has been lighting it up, but Bruno's been on fire at ACB, winning, not submitting, but winning. So it'll be interesting to see how that finishes. Bruno is a seasoned beast competitor. So that's another, I guess, big step up for Doderlin. The next match, Yusef man, you guys are killing me with these names. Yusef Raisov versus Georgi Karahanian. We know Georgi. We've seen him in EBI.
No weight class again for this match.
Probably a lightweight class, but it'll be interesting.
Yep.
Igor Silva versus, Abdurrahman Bilarov. I think I nailed that one.
95 kilo match.
I think I nailed that one. Holy moly, man. Can't you guys be like Sergey Karatanov? That's easier to pronounce than some of these names. Not another match with no weight. Abdul Aziz Abdul Vakabov.
Yo, they need nicknames.
I'll just call him Abdul. That works. Abdul Aziz Abdul Kalvakov versus Edward Vartinen.
I think it's Udard. E-D.
Edward.
E-D. Is it Edward?
Edward.
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 All right. Next one, a guy we know can actually pronounce his name.
This one's also going to be fucking crazy. Nicholas Mergali versus Zhao Rocha. I'm assuming that's Zhao Gabriel Rocha.
Yeah, I would assume at 95 kilos.
Holy fuck,
I
that's
think
going to be wild.
Mergali's going to come out
like a psychopath?
Like still upset about Worlds. Even though it was a couple weeks ago, still upset about getting beat by Muhammad Ali. And he's going to come out and try to murder Zhao Gabriel. Rocha.
It'll be interesting.
Whether he does it, it'll be interesting, but it'll be a fun. Again, neither outcome would surprise me. I can see Mergali finishing Rocha late.
Rocha
finishing Rocha late, or taking each round on points.
Next match, Magomed Ismailov versus Albert Duraev.
92 kilogram match.
There's a lot of Russian guys that you're going to see.
You're in Moscow.
I'm pretty sure we're going to see some wild fucking wrestling moves.
Guys putting it on for the home country, man. We're gonna see it.
Next match, Luis Ponza versus Rodrigo Cavaca. Wow. Footlock guys. This is going to be really crazy.
And they put it at the top of the card, too.
Not the top of the card, but
Well,
they put it closer towards the top of the card. But it'll be interesting. Cavaca's known for his leg locks. Luis Ponza's known for his leg locks.
I can see this being another, 5.5 hour event.
Possibility. There's a lot of matches on this card.
There's a lot of really good guys that I don't necessarily think will sub each other. Because the level's so high, you're going to get a lot of, really close matches that you're going to have to judge score and stuff.
True. Okay. Aslambek Saidov versus Muhammad. I'm going to go with Muhammad because there's a K next to the H, and the Jewish person inside of me thinks it should be a ch sound. So Muhammad Berkamov.
82 kilogram match.
Again, a lot of people that we don't know that our minds might be blown by some of these matches. Here's one. Ari Farias versus Zhao Miao, 60 kilo title match.
We just saw them go against each other at Worlds.
Is it going to go different?
It's a completely different rule set.
So it'll be interesting to see how it turns out.
By the way, I assume this is a gi competition.
Yes.
I assume this is in the gi. Ari beat him. Dude, this is a match I'm happy to see them putting on again so soon.
Kind of stalled it out, though.
Dude, he hit that, time to takedown. He did a couple things that were really impressive to me. And I'm
can
excited.
He keep it up?
I don't know, but he's looked
for
like
5 entire rounds.
Dude,
because he looked like he slowed down, and Mikey turned it up on him in the finals.
Yeah, but
so it'll be interesting to see how he holds out for 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm. But dude, he's looked like a murderer at ACBJJ recently.
Oh yeah, and he scored 800 points.
26, I think.
23 or 26, something like that.
I think it was 26 points in a single round of 5 minutes. And he didn't start scoring points until I think 2 or 3 minutes in of a 5-minute round.
He worked it.
Dude, looked like a murderer recently. Next match, not a title match.
Zubaira Tukmagov. Jeez. Versus Josh Emmett. Thank you, Josh Emmett, for not having a weird name that I can barely pronounce. 73 kilos. Is that the MMA fighter, Josh Emmett?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. We see him on super fights now and again, but it'd be weird for them to put him, because typically ACBJJ puts on high-level jiu-jitsu guys.
That's not necessarily true if you look up 2 matches. Look at that name.
All right, well, yep, and they put it on top of the card, so I assume it's the Josh Emmett we've seen on It and on Fight to Win and other events.
No, I mean the Josh Emmett from the UFC.
Yes, we've seen on It.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Same guy?
I'm fairly certain, unless I'm an idiot, which we've established on the show I am. So
we're both kind of stupid.
Yep. So, yeah, maybe. Interesting to see 73 kilo match.
75 kilo title match. Lucas Lepre versus Davi Ramos.
Dude, Lepre
Ramos,
looked goddamn amazing for the history of ever.
Yes. Very true. So it'll be really interesting to see this matchup go down. It happened at ADCC in China, where he did that.
So 2013? Man, we mess up ADCC every time. Finland was 17. The year before that was Brazil.
Yeah.
And then it was China before that, or London before that, then China.
No, it was China before.
China was 2013, I think.
London was before China.
Okay, I think China was 2013, was the China one.
Well,
yeah.
Remember when Davi Ramos hopped over Lucas Lepri's guard and fucking went for a flying triangle and transitioned right into that armbar and tapped him? That shit was wild.
Slick shit, so.
He tried it. I think he tried to do it again.
But this is in the gi.
We think it probably is.
Probably in the gi. So the co-main event, which is an odd co-main event for me.
Diego Sanchez versus Marbek Taisumov.
Both MMA fighters, both in UFC. So it's interesting to see this.
I wonder what weight it's going to be at.
Particular. I would assume it'd be at like 70. Because Diego's been at 55.
Every single fucking weight
45. Yeah, he's been everywhere, hasn't he?
85, 70.
So this will be interesting. Both guys in the UFC. Both guys are good. Diego's been, I mean, he's got a huge history of being on grappling super fights. Like, he's been on like
ADCC.
Against
Marcelo Garcia.
Grappler's Quest from back in the fucking day.
Way back in the day.
Yeah. So
it'll be interesting. Finally, the top of the card, the number one title fight, Lucas Hulk Barbosa versus Felipe Preguiça Pena. 95 kilo title match.
How do you see it going, Josh?
Felipe Pena.
Really?
Felipe Pena.
All right.
Dude's nigh impossible to stop.
Yeah. No, he is.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Nicholas Mergali beat him. And I think it's a great setup to a rematch with Mergali and Felipe Pena if he wins. So,
look, whoever wins this match, you're probably going to get that rematch anyway. Not rematch. You're probably going to see it versus Mergali anyway.
It'll just be interesting whether it's a title fight or not.
Yeah, I agree. But again, a matchup. Great card. It should be murderous to watch and cover for us, but super exciting. Always love that ACBJJ is putting on just so many high-level matches. It's interesting they're bringing for free on the YouTubes. It's interesting they're bringing in more MMA guys on their cards. I'm not sure if that's a trend that will continue. It's also in Russia, their home country. So again, that is on.
Bring that shit to New York.
That is on. They brought it to LA. I mean to Long Beach.
Bring that shit to New York.
I'll watch. I'll drive up and see that.
I'll fucking go.
Yeah, I will too.
I'll watch. I'll fucking go.
So that is on the 30th. Tune in, watch it.
And that wraps up this week of the Grappling Rewind. Lots of grappling, lots more grappling, lots of fun stuff. Me talking about myself a lot. Hopefully Maine gets put on the card too.
Eventually, Josh.
We'll find out. We'll definitely be there covering it as well. Maybe you'll have to interview me.
I'm not interviewing Josh.
Oh, I'm
not doing that.
Oh, you're gonna interview me.
Josh Weinstock interview at Fight to Win Pro 79.
82.
82. It's gonna be like a 5-minute of just Josh rambling about like whatever the fuck he decides to ramble about.
I'll make it short and sweet. I'll be like, I'm fucking awful. I just happened to win or lose, whatever.
Yo, you can't go in with a shitty attitude like that. You'd be like, I'm gonna fuck this guy up.
No, it'll be the post one, so I'm not gonna like predict.
No, you're gonna predict like, yo, I came in, I did my gi stuff, I hit him with that gi knowledge, that wizardry, that lapel shit. He didn't know what was coming. Yo, I took his knee and his foot and put them together, and he tapped.
I'm not that aggressive of a person.
Josh, you're at a pro event.
Okay.
Step the fuck up. You got 1 month. Get your goddamn mind right. Show the fuck up.
I mean, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to try my damnedest.
No.
I'm going to do my damnedest.
Crush. Quit this bullshit of like, I'm going to go and compete. Like, no, I'm going to crush this dude's soul, make him quit the sport. That's what you need to go in like, Josh. How do you think Ari Farias goes in when he's going? He's like, I'm trying to kill this guy.
I can't do that leading up to it.
Ali's going in.
This is me being 100% transparent. Leading up to it, I cannot get into that mindset. That like throws off my training.
Man,
it
get
fucks
in
me
there.
all up. But when that day happens, then you're fucked because I'm gonna be like, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna try to put your foot in your butt, like straight up in your butt.
Toes in the butt, toe hold.
Toes in the butthole, toe hold. That's what's up. I can't heel hook. It's in the gi, but I don't mind. Maybe I'll try to twister him.
Can you do that in the gi?
Yes.
You can do spine locks in the gi?
Yeah.
I'm very excited about it. I love Fight to Win.
Yeah, I definitely. If for whatever reason somehow I almost get flying triangled. I'm going to try to powerbomb somebody. Slams will be involved. I will try to slam as much as possible, possibly a German suplex or a gut wrench, any other kind of pro wrestling move. I'm going to try for anything, honestly.
So that does it for this week's episode of the podcast.
Motherfucking gorilla press slam like Gorilla Monsoon.
You do some cool shit, but you better fucking win this time.
Dude, I'm going to try to go for a TKO.
I'm down. I'll watch.
How about that?
All right.
I'm Josh.
I'm Maine.
This has been the Grappling Rewind podcast.
We'll see you on the mats.
As always, you can email us at thegrapplingrewind@gmail.com. You can check us out on Stitcher, iTunes, YouTube, and pretty much anywhere you can find
Facebook.
podcasts. We're on Facebook, Grappling Rewind,
Instagram.
Grappling Rewind,
Twitter.
Grappling Rewind.
Reach out to us on social media. If you got something you want us to cover, you want to clarify, we are here.
You want to tell us we're idiots. Hey, let us know.
You want us to pronounce your name correctly?
Let us know. Subscribe on the YouTube page. Leave us a review.
Helps us out a lot.
It helps us out, and it eventually will help you out. We like to give back. We're doing this as something that isn't done, so help us help you. Again, as always, I'm Josh.
I'm Maine.
And this is the Grappling Rewind podcast.
We'll see you on the mats.